What's going on, guys? Josh coming at you from Fake Education. The last video we did with the comparison of the Yeezy 350 V2 Butters went very well. A lot of you guys liked that style better, where we threw the detailed pictures into the video instead of just doing an up-close video. That way you guys are able to screenshot and then go back to them when you need to. So we're going to continue with that format for probably the next week and kind of get more of you guys' feedback, see if there's anything we need to change, and as well as testing out the new audio setup we have. We're now doing just a wireless mic, so that way we can hopefully pick up better audio. But anyways, enough of the rambling. Today we are going to do a comparison of the Off-White Jordan 1 Retro High and the University Blue. Now, in my personal opinion, the University Blue is probably my favorite out of the two different variations of the Off-White Jordan 1s. And there are also a lot of dead giveaways as to if you're buying a real or a fake. Obviously, our goal here is to save you as much money as possible and not let you guys get scammed. So let's jump on into it. So as far as build structure goes, these are almost identical, except for a couple minor details. As you'll notice on the real pair, the white stitching that goes around all of the leather pieces is a little bit thicker, a little bit bolder, and a little bit more white. Whereas on the fake pair, it's a very dull white color, very thin, cheap looking stitching. Not only that, but on the inner side of the shoe, where it tells you the Off-White Jordan 1 and all that, the print is a little bit messy on the fake pair. It almost looks like it was spray painted with a stencil and some of the paint dripped and is smeared. Whereas on the real pair, it still has that industrial print, but it's not as sloppy. Now, diving into the outer side of the shoe, you're going to notice quite a few differences. One mainly is just the stitching, the quality, the spacing between the end of the leather and the stitch. It's very even and precise on the real pair because Nike's quality control is obviously somewhat better than the Chinese replica manufacturers. Also, you'll notice the orange stitching, that little piece at the bottom of the Nike swoosh is a little bit thicker and stitched a little bit better than on the fake pair, whereas the fake pair, it looks like it was hand stitched with some very thin thread. Now, I know that these are all minor details, and this is kind of the purpose of this video. These fakes are starting to get very, very close. So be careful, screenshot everything in this video, and keep it in your photo album for if you ever have to buy a pair of these, you can kind of revert back to it and use it to kind of help you, make sure that you don't get scammed. One more shot of the inner side of the sneaker, you're going to see that the tabs on the top where you can pull them back and they say 85. On the fake pair, they're very, very flimsy, whereas on the real pair, it's a genuine leather, so it's not going to be as flimsy. Also, pay attention to the print where it says Off-White. You can see on the fake pair, it's not very straight across the shoe, and it even kind of dips upwards towards the heel. Now, going towards the heel of the shoe, you're going to notice a lot in quality control. Obviously, on the real pair, the stitching is very clean, very neat. There's no excess material hanging out, whereas on the fake pair there is. Also, you're going to know a little bit of a hue and color difference on the upper part of the heel. On the real pair, it's more of a bleach white with a slight blue tint to it. And on the fake pair, it's white with a little bit of a light yellowish manila tint to it. Now, here's just an up-close picture of that little orange tab that is sewed onto the Nike swoosh, just so you guys have a better idea of what you're looking for. On the real pair, the stitching is very clean, the square is cut out very neatly, and on the fake pair, the stitching job on it is pretty shitty, to be honest with you. Also, while we're having this picture up on the screen, take a look at the Nike swoosh itself. The texture of the leather on the fake pair almost looks like it was stabbed with like the edge of a steak knife or a razor blade, whereas on the real pair, it still has a texture, but it's a lot more smooth. Same goes for the leather on the tabs of the upper part of the sneaker by the Wayne logo. You can see here on the real pair it's very smooth and the holes on it are very precise, whereas on the fake pair it's very, very textured, very grainy, and the holes are kind of just cut out with like a pencil or something. There's one last close-up of the Nike swoosh and that orange stitching we were talking about earlier on the bottom. This, obviously, you can tell the stitch work on the real pair is very clean, very neat. On the fake pair, again, very sloppy, low quality control. One thing I wanted to point out though on the real pair is that the air in quotations has a very glossy finish to it, whereas opposed to the fake pair, it's a very matte, almost like it was just a sticker kind of printed onto it. And here is a closer picture of that. As you can see, the fake has a very matte finish and the real has a gloss finish. Here is just another zoomed in photo of the heel of the shoe, just to give you guys a better idea of the difference in quality with the stitching and how they cut the fabrics and all that. Again, a lot of the things I'm showing you guys in these videos, they're very minute, very small details, but if you can screenshot these and save these, it could save you guys a lot of money. The main moral of this whole video is just pay attention to the quality. Nike's quality control is obviously going to be leaps ahead of these Chinese distributors' quality control. Another thing here, looking at the midsole of the shoe, you want to pay attention to how smooth the texture is on the real pair, whereas opposed to the fake pair, it's a very textured, it's almost like it's stamped into the midsole, and the real obviously is not. It's a little bit more smoother, but the texture is there. Now here we're looking at the inside of that Jordan wing on the top of the sneaker. As you can see, on the real pair, it's very matte, very toned down matte finish, whereas opposed to the fake pair, we have a very glossy 85 in quotations. And then to wrap the video up, we just have two different photos of these shoes being under a UV light. If you guys are able to purchase a black light, this will help you a lot with the comparisons that we have. You can tell a lot of differences with this. The first thing we're going to look at is the off-white zip tag or zip tie, whatever you would want to call it. You're going to notice that on the real pair, the letters on it are kind of absorbing the light from the UV and don't really glow, whereas opposed to the fake pair, they're very vibrant and they light up just like how anything white under a black light would. And then lastly, as we look again at the orange square tab that is on the Nike swoosh, under UV black light on the real pair, it's kind of just absorbing the light, not glowing. It's looking as if it would if the light wasn't even there. On the fake pair, underneath the UV black light, it glows very, very bright, and that's a dead giveaway that that is a fake pair. Now that wraps up our video for the Jordan 1 Retro High University Blue sneakers. If you guys have any comments or questions, please drop them below. Also, let us know how this format is working so far. We have been getting a lot of great feedback from you guys saying that, one, you're happy that we're back on YouTube, and two, having the detailed pictures instead of a video, you're able to screenshot and really put these out to the test when you're at sneaker shows or just picking up a pair of shoes. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at fake_education and my personal account at Superduperjoshy, and I'll be able to answer all of your questions and do legit checks there. We are doing legit checks and promotions on our Instagram account, so feel free to check us out there, and I will see you in the next video. Running that bitch, get on me. Echo, got new money, hello, live or nothing.